Hi, welcome back. We are looking at Sunderland's run in the last 8 games and just how nervous are we getting. Plus, we're also looking at some very angry social media tweets following the 3-0 loss to Coventry City. We've got Charlie with us. Let's get straight into it. Thank you for joining us. Drop us a quick subscribe, just a quick like if you enjoy 20 minutes of Sunderland chat, which you can easily digest. How are you, Charlie? There's lots of anger following that CBS result. Are you in that mind frame?
Yeah, I am actually. I was very, very, very disappointed with them yesterday. I thought they were everything that we shouldn't be. I think it's the easiest way to put it. They just looked dead, a lot of them. There's maybe one or two maybe to come out with it. Miyenda did well, first half especially. And then in the 15 minutes Jensen Seelt was on, he did very well, to be fair to him, but the rest of them were very poor, to say the least.
We're going to get into some really angry tweets in a second, so stay around for that. First of all, though, we're doing what we said at the start. So looking at Sunderland's last 8 games. First of all, we have a look at them now, Charlie, but there's just no way that Coventry or West Brom or Bristol City, 3 of those are going to win enough games to bump Sunderland out of the top 6 completely, is there? That is not happening. We're certain on that?
Yeah, I'd say I'm pretty certain. But looking at the games I'm seeing here, there's too many kind of that I'm just thinking there's something that is gonna, like, for example, Millwall, Alex Neil.
Yeah,
I know what's happening. West Brom, Tony Mowbray. Bristol City, I think, might just beat where. I don't know. So I think that I'm still pretty fine saying we'll get playoffs, but you just never know.
Yeah, and let's just run through them. So the home games are Millwall, Swansea, Blackburn, who have just become awful, and QPR, who are on a rotten run themselves. So, I mean, yeah, you can't pull what? It's 12 points there. What are we looking at? 8, 9 minimum?
You'd think. I mean, we should beat Millwall, but Alex Neil, and then a plethora of other former players they've also got. Swansea, I think that should be fine. And Blackburn, I think, probably should be fine. Although I imagine we'll probably struggle with their defence, but, you know, I never know. QPR, I know they're poor at the minute, but there's, 7 games in between then, so you never know.
Yeah. These away games, you're playing all the teams. Well, West Brom and Bristol City, Norwich are probably out of it a bit now, and Oxford, who'll be scrapping for their lives by the time you get on there. So, some tricky games here.
Yeah, that's definitely so. I think there's none of them that I'll be like all of them. Should be reasonably confident that we should at least get a point from on paper, but based off the recent performances, I'm slightly nervy about any game, but you know.
Some of the suggestions we've read, Charlie, is that after that Leeds game, after Leeds beat you, you've just not played well. It's almost as if the players have gone, oh, well, we're not getting automatics. We're definitely in the playoffs, so the running has stopped, the energy has stopped, some of the forward passing has stopped. Do you agree with that point of view or not?
I don't agree that the players are just saying, "Oh, that's that. They'll get playoffs." I just think they're knackered. I think is the easiest way to put it. They're a bunch of young lads. I've seen it every season since they've came up. Towards the back end, we've kind of slowed down. Even that first season, we did a little bit, but we had a slightly bigger squad / more experienced players, so it wasn't as bad. But I mean, last year was the same thing. This year, though, it's just happened all over again. And then, irritating me, you've got international break coming now, and all the lads that you'd want, like Job, Rig, for example, you want them to have a rest. They're off to play for England. Yeah. Dennis Serkin as well, England. Like, we're not really going to have that much of a rest for most of our squad, annoyingly.
Yeah. Let's have a look at some takes then. Some of these are really, really having a lay in. Sam says, absolutely effing terrible, pathetic. January was a rubbish show. The whole club is what had happened to us. We look half the team we did the first half of the season. It's literally just sit back and let teams dominate us. It's embarrassing. Sort it out. Another one says, sad thing is we didn't just lose. There was no fight. It was horrific. Mepham dropping a 0 out of 10. Nobody could pass the ball. Everyone, they couldn't be bothered, was actually a disgrace. And Buff says it was definitely one of the worst performances of the season. We're bullied all day in midfield, and Patterson's form is very worrying. Right, let's have a look at some of those. But let's look at the Mepham thing, first of all, who's been a brilliant player for most of the season. What's going on with him?
I don't know, but he was he was the worst of the lot, definitely, yesterday. Which I wasn't a big fan of, especially considering he'd kind of been hinting that in the summer he'd want a better move I'd seen. And then, I mean, the defending for when he gave away the penalty was pathetic. And there was, I mean, I could see for a minute, like the first 5 minutes, they had a corner, I remember, and he just headed the ball back in the 6-yard box, completely unmarked. And everybody was just kind of like, what on earth are you doing? And then from then on, he was just very poor once again. He has been really good since he signed, but there's always been something off, more of like kind of why is he here than what he's been doing. And then I think you kind of start to see why he's here and not playing at a high level. Yeah. So,
and what about Patterson? I mean, he wasn't directly at fault for any of the goals. In your view, was he?
Patterson was at least all worried yesterday. There was nothing he could have done in any of them. He actually made a couple of really good saves, to be fair to him. It's 0-0 and 1-0. There's nothing to do with him. I was quite... and I'm still content with him for the rest of the season. He'll do the job.
What do you personally put this down to, then? Why are we seeing such a slump in results? Especially, I mean, at home you can't, you're drawing too many. Away from home you're looking dodgy.
I just think it's a combination of them just being knackered and then trying to manage that. I think is what it is. Like if they're all knackered, you're not going to go out and tell them to play high tempo, high pressing football because they'd be dead at half time. So they're trying to manage that, and they are struggling. Like Preston in the week, you could tell. I mean, albeit they should have been 3-0 up at half time, that you could just tell that weren't on the same wavelength as well. That's a big thing. That's what it was yesterday, especially in attack. The amount of times when like Hume, Roberts, and Rigg are usually so connected, they just get each other's runs all wrong, and the ball we played in the wrong place, and they just hit on the break. And yeah, it's just a lot of things coming together, I think is the easiest way to put it.
All right. This was the one. Jake saying 1 loss to Leeds, and we completely lost all momentum. And I suppose that's only understandable, isn't it? You were there at this. I mean, you led the division for quite a significant amount of time at the start. You've been hanging on the coattails, so for it finally not to be in the sights of automatic, and then people are saying, "Oh, Coventry's likely to be the opponent now in the playoffs." Does that worry you a little bit as well?
Coventry, I've been saying for weeks that I just can't be bothered to play them, and once again, I've seen exactly why. There's just something about them every time I play them, because I mean, even they got beaten in the week, didn't they? They got beat off Derby, I think, and then it just looked like a walk in the park. So I still really hope it's not them, but I think it probably will be, sadly.
Right. Well, over the next 8 weeks, we're going to be with Charlie and the others who are all away this week as we review and preview the next 8 games for Sunderland, including the playoff final, who may be off to the Prem, Charlie. Still definitely can happen. But momentum is what Sunderland need now, isn't it? We need to get our mojo back. Join us then and follow the channel through those 8 weeks. Next week, do join us because, again, Monday at 6 o'clock, we'll be asking Charlie to look through all the players that are on loan and all the players out of contract this summer and what should happen with all of them. So join us for for that quick one next week. Have a great week, everyone. Enjoy the internationals. We'll see you in 7 days' time.